Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1. And yo, if that isn't the most Manchester United game and result, then bro, I just don't even know what to tell you at this point, bro. It's like poor first half performance. Crystal Palace probably should be 2 or 3 goals up. United concede, and then the players somehow turn the game around. Like, we've been doing this for years. We've been doing this for years. And the funny thing is with Manchester United, yeah, it's like fans are always so quick to blame the players. And this is why people are like, oh, Rants, your player FC, your player FC. That's like, bro, I'm not player FC. But as somebody that's played football, yeah, at a good level, I understand, yeah, how important the players are to win games, innit? I understand that. And we've seen Jose Mourinho, we've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we've seen Eric Ten Hag, and we're now seeing Ruben Amorim all be terrible, but have good enough players to keep them in a job. This is why, yeah, I'm always last, yeah, to be saying, oh, it's the players not good enough, because I understand that Manchester United have good enough players to keep poor managers in a job. This was another one of those games. First half, Manchester United were all over the place. People wanted to dish out individual blame, saying this player's not playing well, that player's not playing well, so on and so forth. But the truth is, first half, nobody was playing well because the system was an absolute shambles. Crystal Palace were exposing us, opening us up, yeah, with 1 or 2 passes, and they were clean through on goal. When these things are happening, it's clearly a system issue. It's a structural issue. It's not an individual player issue, because this happens no matter who we play against. But people always want to try and find a scapegoat, bruv. It's like they're not happy with the idea that the manager's poor. And it's testament to Manchester United that, or testament to how badly Manchester United have been run over however many years, that they struggle to make the right choices with managers. Jose Mourinho was not the right choice for Manchester United. Louis van Gaal had built a possession-based team, yeah, literally was bringing through younger players. He was building something. That was cut short because Man United decided that they wanted to do El Clasico, and Man City just got Pep. So Jose was available, so we must get Jose for commercial reasons. It wasn't a football decision to bring in Jose. I washed Jose at that point. So we brought in a past his best Jose Mourinho. Cool. With the players that Jose had in the first window with the Pogba and Zlatan, no surprise he won trophies in his first season. Jose was never a good fit for Man United. Never. And then to go from Jose Mourinho to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that had absolutely no experience at the top level here, was criminal. And then to go from him to Eric Ten Hag, again, was criminal. And then now we've just taken a punt with Ruben Amorim, and now bringing in a manager that doesn't even play, not only a style of football situation, doesn't play the same system, doesn't have the same philosophy as the previous manager. Man United keep undoing all of their own hard work with their recruitment of managers. And these set of players right now are keeping this manager in a job. And it doesn't even make sense because his results are so bad that he should be sacked anyway. So when man are saying keeping him in a job, this guy had won 12 games in 12 months in the Premier League and still an employee of Manchester United. And that is down to the incompetence, yeah, of the people at this football club. Because you get sacked for less at every other club in the league. That's relegation form. And if he was managing a relegation team, they would have pulled the plug on him already because they would have been fighting for their lives. Today, the system that he put out there did not create one decent chance. And we had to rely on 2 set pieces, yeah, to win a game that we had absolutely no business still being in at half time. That's the reality. Crystal Palace were wasteful, bruv. They ended up scoring a penalty. Not for the penalty, it looks like they never would have scored. But they had their chances, man. They had their chances. United were poor today. Like, brilliant finish from Xerxes. Like, it didn't even make sense that he could even score from there, bro. But the game was so tiring, the game was so poor that when that goal went in, like, you don't know how to feel at that point because you're like, yo, we're getting battered. Man's almost resigned to losing the game, and then he pulls an absolute worldie out the bag, weak foot, impossible angle. Man in the chat saying, no, it was 0.03 XG or something like that. Bro, that was, if he tries to do that 50 times again, he doesn't strike the ball as cleanly as he struck that with the laces into the side netting, the inside side netting. But it's like, that came out of nowhere. Free kick. Bruno's clipped the ball into the box. Xerxes ran onto it and slapped it. Like, the likelihood of him scoring that goal again, if he had 50 more opportunities, is mad, and striking it as cleanly as he striked it, and or as he struck the ball. And you know what the funny thing is? He was one of the players that was getting scapegoated by the fans because they need a scapegoat. He's one of the players that was getting scapegoated. He was massively isolated, and Bumo was nowhere near him when the ball was played into him. Same with Mason Mount. He's in no man's land, and they're just lumping the ball up to him, and he's got no one to connect with. And he's a player that needs people to connect with him. Like, people can argue amongst themselves if they think he's a good player or not. Do you know what I mean? I don't care, innit? Do you know what I mean? His qualities are very obviously there to be seen. And again, yeah, like, last game, people were trying to scapegoat him because Pickford made an absolute worldie save. And today, he provided the same ability to connect, and he scored a goal this time. Do you know what I mean? And people went from scapegoating him, saying he's rubbish, this, that, and the other, to all of a sudden, oh, you know what, he's playing well. But this is how fickle the average football fan is. That's why you don't even listen to that rubbish. And then Mason Mount, free kick. Do you know what I mean? Like, indirect free kick. Bruno touches it. Mount hits it. He goes through the wall, beats the keeper at the near post. Man in the chat were joking that, bro, maybe the sun was in the keeper's eyes and that because he put his hat on. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're actually doing. Like, a poor performance, a quick bit of thinking from Mason Mount and Bruno, and also Palace switching off and not reacting to the quick free kick. And all of a sudden, we're 2-1 up in a game that we should have been dead and buried in at half time. And then people are going to turn around and see this as a justification as to why this manager needs more time. He coached a loss today. Do you know what I'm saying? He coached a loss today, and the players have got this win over the line. But these are the same players that individuals will try and scapegoat when we don't win. Nobody wants to take accountability for how poor this manager has been. And then he'll come out in press conferences and say all of this rubbish. Before this game, it was Dorgu. The players are not the same when they train and when they play matches or when they play for their international teams. There's always an excuse. But the honest truth is, this guy is not good enough. He was in an awful league in Portugal. An awful league where you could spend probably 50 million, yeah, and revamp your whole squad in that league, yeah, because you don't need to bring in players of that much high caliber to really do well in that country, because the standard of the league is abysmal. He's being found out here. But people are still going to make excuses for him because it's a cult. It's not a football club following, because a lot of the support the manager gets is not football related. You're supposed to earn the right for time and support from these, but these fans think that he's got some God-given right to receive support from the fans, even though he's done zero to earn it. The guy lost us a cup final to Tottenham Hotspur. Eric Ten Hag wins that final. Oli wins that final. Jose wins that final. But he lost it. But Ruud van Nistelrooy wins that final. Yet we're being patient with him. Why? What, because he speaks well? Or because man fancy him? It might be a bit of both. And even the speaks well thing, that's subjective. Because he sounds like a moron to me. Sounds like a moron with a million excuses. So when we look at today's performance, I think Luke Shaw, he did some good things in some good moments. Casemiro, as usual, his good performances go unnoticed. He was the rock in that midfield because Bruno was atrocious today, but he escaped with two assists and a man of the match trophy. And this is exactly why I said this is a typical Man United performance, because this was today, watching this game, this encapsulated what it's felt like to support this football club for the last at least 5 years. Rubbish performances, manager on the cusp of being sacked, smash and grab. That's literally what Manchester United are right now. And the worst thing about it is, yeah, these owners will see the result and they'll think, you know what? We won the game, bro. Like, there's actually no real ambition from this board. Like, they talk a good talk, but if they were ambitious, they would have sacked this guy a long time ago. You could see that Glasnow was visibly fuming to be dropping points to Manchester United because they were by far the better team in the first half. And they were good enough to have put the game beyond us in terms of how they approach play. But the final, you saw their lack of quality in the final third. You saw it. So, yeah, we just take this game, yeah, and we just move on to the next one with absolutely nothing to take from this. I always say, can you copy and paste anything from this game into the next one to ensure that you win or give you some encouragement that you'll win the game? The answer is no. When people were saying that this Man United team on paper have the easiest running in the next 5 in terms of the positions that the teams they're playing against are in, I thought, cool, maybe we'll go on a run. Then we lose to 10 men Everton, who got battered by Newcastle yesterday. And we were extremely fortunate not to lose this game as well. But the W and the 3 points will not have an asterisk next to it saying extremely fortunate. So, while these owners, yeah, can continue to ride this Amorim wave, yeah, and not have to spend any money to sack this guy and also not to accept any accountability for a poor decision, we're going to have to continue to go through this roller coaster of emotions. Because this win, yeah, it was a good result, but was it? Because now we have to endure this foolishness even longer.